Taygetan drones or drone ships. Hello once more. I'm Mari Swaruu. For thousands of years, people all over Earth have reported having seen unidentified flying objects, and of these, the most common one by far is the small sphere that most of the time is seen in the skies as a bright star at night or as a silver or white luminous point during daytime. They can be seen completely still, static, or moving at any speed. At night they are easily confused with a planet like Jupiter or Venus, that is until they start moving, and during daytime they can be mistaken for a weather balloon or a simple helium toy balloon that escaped a child's little hand. Especially if that toy is silver or chrome in color. They can remain static in the sky for many hours at a time, sometimes all night long, but during daytime they rarely do as they cannot use the stars as camouflage. During daytime they tend to move slowly using the clouds as cover whenever they can, and if close enough they can be seen in full shape as white or silver spheres. In the night sky they may place themselves in such a position where people would expect to see Venus or Jupiter, and if a person is aware of the correct positions of each stellar object according to their location and time of the year, they may be able to spot the drone as something that shouldn't be there. At night a drone can also use the faraway lights of a city hill in the background as camouflage, and their movement is masked by the lights of moving traffic there as well. Also at night they can be seen as big or small stars moving rapidly far or near above, and most people confuse them as simple human satellites in space or as the International Space Station. This kind of drone does not naturally emit any kind of light. They use high-energy electromagnetism to counter gravity. The electromagnetic toroid they generate, and are immersed in, has a tendency to superheat the atmosphere around them so much that it starts to glow as plasma. This is an unwanted side effect that reveals the presence of a drone. Larger starships also suffer from this unwanted side effect when they are operating within the Earth's atmosphere. The color of this plasma varies depending on atmospheric temperature, altitude, and humidity level, but it varies mostly because of the frequency output of a drone's anti-gravity engine itself and how it reacts with the air around it. These drones operate alone most of the time, but they can also be seen working in pairs or in small groups as well as in large swarms. They can also be spotted in formations with any number of them in it. After solo or pair drones, the most common formation is the disorganized swarm, where they move among each other or all together with apparently no logic. They can also commonly be seen making a line of lights in the sky or moving in an echelon formation. But they can be spotted anywhere and making just about any formation shape, and many times they can be confused as the lights of a larger UFO. When drones operate in pairs, they are usually scouting an area, or place, that can be dangerous for them. In human terms, they are a lead drone and its wingman covering its back. And each race may also use drones with different shapes, just about any shape, including discs. But regarding shapes, they commonly go even further, as many races may use drones shaped like human aircraft, helicopters, cars, and even motorcycles. These last ones, interestingly, are quite common and have even been reported by people like Salvador Freixedo. These motorcycle-like drones may move apparently on the ground, correct engine noise and all, and then make a turn somewhere and disappear. They like to emulate motorcycles due to their fast and elusive nature. People suspect less. Even though a drone can physically have just about any shape, what will occur here is most often that a drone, like Taygetan Spherical 1 for example, will form a hologram of a human vehicle around it to mask its presence when it needs to get close to a surveillance objective, and will also generate the correct noise that goes with it. They do this mostly during the day, but they may use this trick at any time, day or night. I must insist, or warn you, on Earth what is out there is not always what it seems. But what are they for? Each and every stellar race, and human governments as well, use drones for surveillance mostly, to overwatch an area or to follow an individual or individuals of interest, as well as to map or keep an eye on any designated area. Drones are usually armed and can be used to engage in a conflict. They are also equipped with all kinds of sensors and are also equipped to take physical samples, for example of a chemistry trail or of organic tissue. Some drones, like the Taygetan ones, are also equipped with a tractor beam. Taygetan drones many times do release a cable underneath them, to suspend a sensor array away from the high-energy toroid the drone is in order to take more accurate readings. When seen, this causes people to confuse them even more with a simple weather balloon. When they are sampling an area, this is usually done for scientific purposes, and their three main analysis instruments are the energy frequency matrix analyzer, the laser spectrometer and the full spectrum chemical analyzer. One of the most obvious and common uses of this kind of drone is to print crop circles. Although there are many reasons to print such circles and formations, the main one is to place a time and space temporary marker, like an X painted in a cave wall someone is exploring. A symbol is printed, any one, in a field, for a ship's crew to be able to determine if they have come back to the same place and time they left from, this due to the convenient finite lifespan of a crop circle. They use them mostly as markers for themselves and for other ships when doing time jumping or time travel, or whenever they need a marker for any reason. Most were never meant for humans. They are ET communicating with ET, and countless races do this. But I must say that nowadays crop circles are being printed all over the world by extraterrestrials for just about any reason, from temporal markers, to alleged DNA activators to simple entertainment to see what humans make of them. Sometimes just for a laugh. So, as you can see, drones are used for just about any purpose and are basically small unmanned starships. They usually come out of a larger manned starship, their mother ship, where they are stored in a line and in long tubes, usually by the nose area of a larger craft such as a Taygetan-class heavy cruiser. But most drones of this kind, like the Taygetan Spherical 1, have full interstellar capacity, so they can be operating from just about anywhere, alone, and far from home. This kind of drone has full artificial intelligence and make their own decisions in the field, or can be remotely operated from a room inside a larger manned starship. They have full telemetry and the crew of their mothership can guide and watch the drone's activity and video feed in real time. Anatomy of a Taygetan spherical drone. Taygetans use three main kinds of drones, all are spheres and they vary only in size and capacity. The smaller ones are hand-held and usually used by an operator on a field for situational awareness of a special ops team, in human terms. They are used by ground personnel and are the approximate size of a baseball, although some can be as large as a basketball. The second type is not very widely used and it is a spherical starship that can operate alone for extended periods of time in deep space. Their size varies a lot but can be as large as any manned starship. The most commonly used Taygetan drone is the one I'm going to describe in detail. It is a perfect sphere, 110 centimeters, or 43.30 inches, in diameter. It has a polymorphic titanium alloy outer shell, or hull, that can heal itself when suffering minor to medium damage. In its geometrical center it has a high-efficiency, crystal core, 0-point reactor as its power source. This reactor is about the size of a large melon. This 0-point reactor is located inside another protective shield that houses all its necessary functions and subsystems such as its cooling and power managing systems. Next, describing from the inside out, there are the spinning turbine control systems and then the counter-rotating spherical turbines that use an enriched mercury-based superconductor fluid that is similar, but not exactly the same, as red mercury. These internal spinning spheres create a toroid shape, computer-controlled, electromagnetic vortex that propels the craft, creating a gravity distortion around the drone, much like on larger starcrafts as well. This engine also permits the drone to completely change its internal frequency, enabling it to jump into hyperspace at any time. See my Stellar Navigation Basic Principles video for more details on this. After the spherical turbine engines and their internal housing, the next space consists of several shielded compartments containing the drone's artificial intelligence and sensor control systems and subsystems. Then immediately under the protective armored hull you will find the sensors placed all along its hull, but mainly at the sphere's equator. The drone's armament is also found here and it is retractable and not visible most of the time. The armament usually consists of 4, or quad, plasma cannon with its power fed directly from the central reactor and carry a quite significant destructive power. In spite of its warlike capabilities, these drones are very rarely used for those purposes, as their main purpose is surveillance and situational awareness for the crew of a large manned starship in Earth orbit or above. The drones are used to monitor, follow, and understand just about anything and everything that is happening on Earth, or in any case, on any other planet they may be interested in studying or observing. The most important function of these kinds of drone is to monitor and follow a stellar race's starseeds, for their protection and guidance as agreed before entering their lives on Earth. But they are not invasive to the starseed, or as minimum as possible depending on the situation. These drones are not hostile, they carry a very loving and guiding energy. Never be afraid of them, trust your emotions and your feelings about them whenever you see one. It is true that the negative races also use drones, but they rarely use spheres. They are your little friends and companions. A little message of, "We are here and we are taking care of you." In one of the upcoming videos I'm working on, you will see and understand the practical applications of these drones, as I will be sharing with you a set of interesting research findings the crew of Taygetan have found very recently about how the energetic reality matrix on Earth responds to the thoughts, frequency, and emotions of the people. That will be all for today. Until next time. With much love. Mari Swaruu.